Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. Today we learn about UiPath Assets. So this is the next tutorial of UiPath Orchestrator. So let's see today's agenda. We learn what is assets and what is the use of assets in UiPath Orchestrator. What are the types of assets in UiPath Orchestrator? UiPath Assets most important question and answers. How to manage assets in UiPath Orchestrator? How to manage assets in UiPath Studio, how to work with UiPath Assets Activities like get assets, set assets, get credential and set credentials, UiPath Assets Exceptions and its resolutions, and last, how to use single value and value per robot assets in UiPath. So let's start. There are many ways to store the data and use in the project, like create a variable or argument and store the data by assigning the value to it. Store the data in config file and access it anywhere in the project. Store the data in the dictionary and access it anywhere in the project by key name. Store the data in database and access it in the project. Store the data in assets in UiPath Orchestrator and access it anywhere in the project globally and keep it secure. So we learn about the assets. So let's start. Assets provide you the simple way of centralizing and managing variables values. Assets can be used as a global variable which can be used as a data management purpose. Any variables in the assets are shared variables or credentials that can be used in the different automation projects. Assets are used to store a specific information so that the robot can easily have access to it. All users developers who are working on or for project who can change the password unknowingly, so bot can throw the exceptions. But if we store the user ID, password and other data in the assets, it will be secure. Here you can see while creating the assets you will get the two options, single value and value per robot. So value per robot we'll learn later, and for the single value I'm going to tell you single value can be accessed and used by all robots, which is defined on single value tab. So from this tab we can create the assets. Now we'll discuss about what are the types of assets in UiPath Orchestrator. So there are 4 types of assets. First, text. Second, boolean. Third, integer. And fourth, credential. Text, it is used to store only string. Boolean, it is used to store true or false values. Integer, it is used to store only numbers. And the last, credential, it is used to store usernames and passwords that the robot requires to execute particular process applications such as login details for SAP or Salesforce or any type of application which require credentials to login. The assets most important question and answers. If you are going for the interview, then they can ask this type of questions for the assets. Like question number 1, why can't we put credential as a text type instead of credential type? Like while creating a assets we are getting two options like as text type and the credential type. So here the question is, why can't we put credential, it means our user ID and password, as a text type instead of credential type? So the answer is credential is secure while text type is not secure. In text type your password will be visible, but in credential type it is not visible. Additionally, an extra level of security is provided as all credentials stored here are encrypted with the AES-256 algorithm. So they can be invoked by RPA developer when designing a process, but their values can be hidden from them. Once the administrator has set the user ID and password in the assets, or like the business owner has set the password, so RPA developer cannot have the access of this. It means they cannot see the password of that application. They can just use that assets and they can log into the applications. Now the second question, why do we require assets if we already have Excel, dictionary and database to store the configuration data. Like if we already have the config file in the Excel dictionary, we can store the data in the dictionary, we can store the data in the database, we can store the data in the Excel. So why do we require assets now? What is the purpose of this? So the answer is, you can say we require assets to keep credentials secure, but in Excel and database credential is not secure. So to make it secure, we have to use mechanism. We store only those data in assets which is required to change on daily or monthly basis. So we can create users in the orchestrator and provide assets access to users, but we cannot provide database access to each users. Let's suppose application's password get changed after each 15 to 30 days, so we cannot make changes in the database or config file after deploy the project. So end user can update the password in assets when required. So whenever we think this data is need to be changed every day, every month, so we can use that. Next question, what data should be stored in assets? And this is the important question. Answer is, it is totally subjective. It depends on the project. Only those data should be stored which required to change every day or weekly basis, or like daily, or you can say daily basis. But I would suggest credentials should be stored in assets to keep it secure, or you can use few assets if you think that in your project there are few variables which are required to change every time when project runs, so you can use that in assets. Now how to manage assets in UiPath Orchestrator? So we'll learn how to add assets in UiPath Orchestrator, how to edit assets in UiPath Orchestrator, and how to remove assets in UiPath Orchestrator. So this is something I need to show you practically. So let me open the UiPath Orchestrator and go to the assets page. So here you can see in the assets page, if you click on the assets, I have already created these assets, but I need to show you how to manage, how to create. So first I need to delete all these assets here. So I have deleted, and now if you want to create or add assets, then you can go to the plus option, that is add. So click here. It will show you one dialog box, that is for single value and second for the value per robot. So we are going to learn single value. So whenever you require to create assets, you can click on the single value, and the name you need to put here the assets name, like let's suppose you are putting the message, you are using any comment, so you can put the name as a message, and here the text means you can store the string type of data here, and the value you can pass here, like this is UiPath assets, or this could be anything as per your requirement you can put here. Now create. So once we'll click on create, it will show you here in the assets page that the variable name you can say as a variable name, and this is the value, and this is the type, the same as our variable, general variable. Here the assets, the message is a variable, and the value is, this is UiPath assets, and the type is text. Once more click on the add. Let's suppose this time I am going to take a boolean, so you can check like file exists, something you can take here, and you can select the boolean value like true or false. Let me take the true. So now this time it will show as a boolean and true. So this time you can create a credential, and once we select the credential, so credential means it will take the username and password, so that next time you can use this password, username, password, credential in your application to log in. So you can write the assets name like application credential, and the username you can put here test username, and now here you can see password. This will not be visible. I am going to put the password here, but at the time of adding the assets, the person who is adding the password, who is putting the password, who can see the password here by this way. Now remove this, create this, and by this way we can create the credentials here. Now the next time, if let's suppose the RPA developer has access to the assets to create or edit, so next time if RPA developer or any other person is going to see the password, so they cannot have the access of the passwords, right? So by this way we can say the credential is secure. But if we are going to take a credential here that is in the text, and if you are going to put the password here, let's suppose test password, so your password will be always visible, so this is not secure. So for the password purpose, for the credentials, we use assets here. And the fourth one, that is number. So this is also as per your requirement. You can use anything like delay 1 second something, and you can put here 1000 milliseconds. So it will, you can use this one next time. So by this way we can create the, we can add the assets here, and these are the 4 type of assets. Now how to edit the assets? Let's suppose you have created and you want to edit the assets, then you can just either select this, or you can directly go to the required assets. You can click on anywhere. If you want to change, then click here and click on edit here. Now you are getting options to change from the value true to false. Now we are changing the value here false. So by this way you can change. And now if you want to change the this one, then again you can change here something like 2000. You can change the name of the assets, that is 2 seconds, and click on update. So we have changed the assets name and the value also. And if you require to delete this, then you can click on this and you can remove this. So remove, and you can select also, you can check this checkbox so that you will be sure that you are going to delete only this assets. So check this and remove from here. So now we have the 2 assets only. Now the next is how to manage assets in UiPath Studio. So there are 4 assets activity used to manage assets in UiPath Studio. Like first, get assets, second, set assets, third, get credential, and fourth, set credential. So get asset, it is used to get a specified asset by using a provided asset name. You have to just use the get asset activity to get the value of that asset by just giving the name of the asset. I will show you these 4 assets activity how to use this. Set asset, it is used to update the value of an indicated asset that is already available in Orchestrator. So please note that to execute this activity, the robot role needs to have edit permission on assets. So set asset is used to just update the value of existing assets in UiPath assets. Let's suppose we have created one assets that name is message, and we have put the value that is this is UiPath assets. So if you want to change the message value, then you can use the set assets, and on the runtime you can change this. Now get credential, it is used to get a specified credential by using a provided assets name and returns a user name and a secure password. So here the get credential is used to just fetch the credential from the assets, from the UiPath Orchestrator assets page. It will show you the username and the secure password, and you can use that value in your project. Now the set credential, it is used to update the value of an indicated credential assets that is already available in Orchestrator. Please note that to execute this activity, the robot role needs to have edit permission on assets. So let's suppose if you want to change the credentials, then you can use this set credentials. It is same as update table, update query. So you want to set the credentials, then you can use this set credential and you can change the password, username, password of the existing assets. So let me show you practically how to use this 4 activities. Let me open UiPath Studio. Okay, so I have already created this project as a assets, and now I'm going to show you how to use get assets activity. It means how to get the data from this credentials and message. Currently I'm just showing you here. Open the notepad and type this assets value, this message value, and then the credential I will show you in the I will open the Flipkart and use that credentials here. So first I'm going to open the notepad here. So before opening the notepad, I need to get the data from here, from the assets page. So we'll take one get asset. This is under orchestrator and go to the assets. So these are the 4 assets activity which is used to work with assets. So here we are getting the get assets activity, and if we'll go to the properties, we are getting the display name, timeout, assets name, private and value. So from the assets name, we need to provide the name of the asset which needs to be retrieved from the orchestrator. So we'll take this name, this message name, and this should be inside the double quotation. So I have written this, and now this is the variable, this is the assets name of UiPath Orchestrator. But now if we need to use this value in our studio in this project, then we need to take this value in a variable. So Control K, and we'll take this as a, you can take the same name also. So it is showing a variable with the same name message already exists in the specified scope. So it is showing that we have already used this one, so we can just take the name, no need to create this. We have got this value by using get asset. So I will just open the notepad by just taking open application, and for the first time I will open the notepad and click on this indicate on screen and just select this. Okay, and now I will take one type into activity so that it will type the data, type the message value in the notepad. So here in the type into activity, again we'll click here, and then in the text must be quoted, here we'll take the variable name of the assets. This variable name we are going to type the same thing which is available in the assets. So we'll just type here message, because this is variable, so we'll not put this variable in the double quotation. And now just run this project. So here we are getting the error, could not find an assets with this name. So here you can see we put the wrong name, that is MEES. So we just need to change and MESSAGE. And so make sure if you are going to use this, so the exact name which is available in the assets page should be matched. Now run this. So now it worked here. Open the notepad and type the same thing, same value which is available in the message assets. This is UiPath assets. So by this way you can get the assets. And let me show you how to get the numbers value. Like here in the orchestrator we have taken the credential. Now I'm going to take one more for the, let's suppose, delay 2 seconds. This is number integer and this is 2000. So this time I'm just taking out this and take a get assets, the next one, and the same name, that is delay underscore 2 second, and the variable will be delay. And now I am going to use the notepad. So here in the type into, I'm just going to take one more variable, that is for the delay, so it will show the both value of the assets, that is message, and the second one is the 2000 value. So let me right, so the robot has written the assets value and the second the 2000. So by this way we can get the assets value from the UiPath assets page by using get assets activity. Now the second is set assets. So set assets, you can just write here set assets. And now let's take this set assets here. I want to change the value of the message. Currently this is UiPath, this is UiPath assets, and now if you want to change something different, then you can just click here and go to the right side properties. From the assets name we need to just provide the existing assets name, that is message, and the value. So currently the value is, this is UiPath assets, and now I'm going to write here hello, welcome to Orchestrator. So what will happen this time, it will change the value of the message assets. Let's run this. Right, now let me open the UiPath assets and refresh this. So once we'll refresh this, the data has been changed, that is welcome to Orchestrator. Now the second thing, I'm going to show you how to get the credentials. It will take one open browser. So it will open the Flipkart in the Chrome browser. So here I will pass www.flipkart.com. After this we need to click on the login button so that it will show the login option. Let me run this first. Right, now we need to click on the login button so that it will show this option, the mobile number and the password. So we'll take one click activity and click on this login button. Right, and once we'll click on the login button, it will show this type of dialog box. Now we'll take the get credentials activity to get the data from the assets. So this time we are going to take the name of the value from the assets, that is application credentials. So we can just take the name and we can paste here, and this time the output is password and username. So here we need to take the two variable, one for the password and second for the username. Here you can see this password, it means the secure password of the retrieved credential, and the username of the retrieved credential. So if you want to get the credential of username and password, then we need to take the two variable control K and this time the pwd, and here the variable is control K and username. We can take one attach browser to use the same browser, like we have already opened this one. So now we need to take this attached browser and we'll just take this one, and now we have the data in the variables. I'm going to show you one more thing, that here the password is stored in the secure string and the username is the normal string. So if you want to type the data, type the password in the password text field, then we need to take a secure type into. So for that, let me first go to the attached browser, and from here we need to take one type into activity. So we'll take this type into activity, and this is for enter the username, and here we'll just take user. And now we'll take the type into secure. I'm going to show you why we need to take type secure text only, because our variable is the secure string, so we can just use only secure text. Let me show you by using the type into which type of exception we are getting. And one more new features has been added in the newest latest version of the UiPath Studio. Like once we'll add any activities, then it will show here the next. It will connect the node here like automatically in the sequence also, and here it gives you option like plus option to add the activities, and here it is showing the shortcut like Control Shift T. So once we'll click on this, or you press the Control Shift T, it is showing the list of activities to add in UiPath Studio. Here these are the favorites, so it is showing alt 1 2 3 4 5, or you can use the any type of activities like type secure text. You can see, and you can just click on this, it will add here. So this is the features of the latest version of UiPath Studio. So now I'm going to tell you type into activity. So let's click on indicate and click on the enter password, and here I'm going to take this pwd. Now you can see here we are getting error here. Why? Because it is showing the pwd value of type system.security.secured string cannot be converted to string. So because this type into activity is for a string, this is not for the secure string, so we need to remove this, and we need to take the secure text. Click on this indicate, take the password, and we can just use the input here in the right side in the secure text, that is pwd. Validation has been gone, and now by this way we can use this credentials. We can get the credentials from the orchestrator page, from the assets page, and we can write into this. Let me run this project. Now you can see the Flipkart has been opened. The click on login and putting the username and putting the password, right? So by this way we can get the credentials. And if you want to change the credentials, then we have the activity that is set credentials. If you think that for any time if you want to change the credentials, then you can use the set credentials, and here the credential name will be this application credential, and you can just use the existing credential name, and from the password you have to use the current password. So you have to write here the current password here, and you have to write the current username which needs to be changed, needs to be set to the existing assets. Now the assets exceptions and its resolutions. So we'll learn what types of and how many types of exceptions occurs in UiPath Orchestrator related to assets, and how can we resolve that issues. So first I will tell you the question, why do we get system.exception? Orchestrator information is not available. Please check if UiPath robot service is started. Exceptions and how to resolve this. So you can see this screenshot of exceptions. If anytime if you are getting this type of exceptions, then you can resolve this. I'm going to show you how. The answer is this exceptions occurs with assets activity only when robot is not connected and robot is trying to get the value from the assets. To resolve this issue, robot should be connected with orchestrator before using assets activity, otherwise it can throw an exceptions. As you know, assets is a part of orchestrator. So if you want to get the data from the orchestrator, so you should connect the robot with your orchestrator. So you can see here I have already connected my robots with the, you can see here, connected with the orchestrator. That's why now I'm going to show you if I am not connecting this, then if I'm disconnecting here, and let's run this. So here it will try to get the credentials from the UiPath Orchestrator. So it will throw an error while putting the data in the credentials. So here it will throw an error that this is the same as get credentials orchestrator information is not available, please check if UiPath robot service is started, right? So make sure if you're going to use the assets activity, any type of activity like the set get assets, set asset, get credentials, set credentials, then the robot should be connected. Now the next is, why do we get these exceptions? Microsoft.rest.http operation exceptions. Operation returned an invalid status code forbidden, and how to resolve this. So if anytime if you are getting this type of exceptions, you can see the screenshot of this exceptions, then you can resolve this. The answer is, this error occurs when robot is unable to write data to the assets from a studio. To resolve this issue, first robot should be connected with orchestrator before using assets activity, and the robot roles should be updated to edit the assets. So the robot should have access to update the assets value. So this can be done from the orchestrator page. Let me show you how to do that. So let's suppose if you are going to the, you are in the orchestrator page, and from the users page go to the roles. We have the two options for first administrator, second robots, and in many of the users they have the third, that is users. We can create here as many as roles. So make sure if you are going to use the set asset activity or set credential, so from the assets here, this line, this edit should be checked. So let me show you. I am uncheck this and now update this. And first let me connect the UiPath robot with the orchestrator so that I can show you the exception, how to get and how to resolve. Now close this. Okay, so here now I'm going to take one set assets activity, and this will to change the delay second from the 2000 value to 1000. This should be in the double quotation, and this is, I'm going to put the value 3. This is the updated one. Now let me run this. So now it will throw an error because the set assets activity require permission. Now you can see the same message, same exceptions we are getting here, that is. So we can resolve this issue by just going to the users page here and click on roles and edit the robots role, and just check this edit option so that robot can edit and update the assets here, and update that, and now run this. So by this way we can resolve this type of exceptions. Right, so we didn't get any issue here. Now let me show you. Go to the assets. Now the value should be 3000. Earlier it was 2000 millisecond, now it is 3000. So by this way we can use the set assets activity. Next one, why do we get this exceptions? System.invalid cast exceptions. Invalid asset type was specified for asset number and how to resolve this. So this is the exceptions. If you are getting anytime this type of exceptions, then you can resolve this. So the answer is this error occurs when assets type is set as number type and user is not passing number value. User is passing text or boolean value. Let's suppose you are going to use the set assets and you are trying to get the value of the number and you are putting the value in the double quotation something, then you will be getting this type of error. Let me show you. In the assets name we are putting here double quotation, this is the name, and in the value we know this is the integer value, so we are just putting here 3000 without double quotation. And if you are just putting this value in the double quotation, then this will show as you are going to use this as a string that is text type, so it will throw an error. Now you can see here we are getting the error here. This is invalid assets type was specified for assets delay 2 seconds. The system.invalid cast exceptions. So this will work if we'll remove this, because we are going to set the value of the integer only, not text. We'll learn how to work with the value per robot in assets. So this value can be accessed only by a specified robot defined on the value per robot tab. If the asset is not global, it must be assigned to the local robot in order to be retrieved. So let's suppose you have the multiple robots created in the orchestrator, and if you want to assign the different value to the different robots, then you can take one asset name and you can just change the value. You can assign the robots to that assets. So let me show you practically. So click on the assets and now click on the value per robot, and this time I'm going to show you comment something, and this will be text. And now we need to select the robot, so we need to select the robot 1, and for robot 1 we need to assign the comments, that is this is local system, and click on add. So if you are done with the this assets, then you can create this, so it will create. Or if you want to add one more value with assigned to the this assets, and if you want to assign to different another robots, then click on add, select the another robot, the robot 2, and assign the value, that is this is virtual machine 1, and click on add. So now we have the one assets name, that is comments, and now we have the 2 values assigned to the different robots. Now we can click on create here, and we can use this comments, and here it is showing value per robot. So anytime if you are getting this type of comments here, value per robot, it means this is has been created to only for the specific robots. Now let me show you how to use this. Let me take get assets, and this time we'll take the name of the assets, that is message, that is comments, because we are going to use the value per robot comments, and the type output will be message. We need to take one message box here to show the assets value. So we'll take the message and run this. So because we are getting this message, because we are running this from the local system, now we need to publish this, because we have to run this process from the jobs page, so that we can assign this process to the different robots. Now publish this and click on publish. So now we have the 1.0.9 version. Click OK, go to the assets here and click on the process, we need to update the version, current version. Currently this is 1.0.8. this is current, and now click on use. Yes, now you can see here the current package version. Close this, click on the jobs page, click on start, select the process, this is assets, and you can select the both robots. And now you can see here in the both system I have the one virtual machine installed here, and let's run this. So in the both robots, both system will have the different message. Now the robot 1 has been started, so we'll get the message here, this is local system. And let me open the virtual machine here, it will write here this is, so it is showing here this is VM1. So by this way, with the one assets, we can assign different value to different robots. I hope you like this video. So if you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, and if you have any question, please comment on this video. Thank you.